Kia ora and welcome back to the HRPI. I'm Marie Tovio. Today's case file looks at a situation that has become increasingly common in workplaces across New Zealand, the remote work reality. Remote and hybrid working arrangements are now part of everyday business for many organisations, but they raise practical questions for employers about productivity, communication, health and safety, and maintaining team culture. For some organisations, remote working arrangements work extremely well. For others, it can feel harder to maintain connection and oversight. But regardless of where the work is performed, the same employment law principles still apply, including good faith, fair performance management, health and safety obligations, and privacy responsibilities. It's also important to remember that remote work arrangements are often connected to flexible working requests under the Employment Relations Act. Employees have the right to request flexible working arrangements, which can include working from home, changing hours, or altering work patterns. Employers must properly consider those requests and respond within the timeframe set out in the legislation. Requests can be declined, but only for specific business reasons set out in the Act, such as an inability to reorganise work, detrimental impact on quality or performance, or insufficient work available during the proposed times. If you want to explore those requirements in more detail, I've covered them in a previous episode of the HRPI titled The Flexible Work Inquiry. So when remote work becomes part of the workplace, what does good management practice look like? The first step is clear expectations. When employees are working remotely, assumptions can quickly lead to confusion. Employers should be clear about working hours, availability, response times, and deliverables. Meeting etiquette and communication expectations are also worth clarifying. Effective remote teams are usually managed by outcomes rather than visibility. The focus should be on what needs to be delivered, by when, and how progress will be communicated. It's also helpful for organisations to document expectations around remote work. Many employers now have a remote or hybrid work policy that outlines eligibility, communication expectations, equipment, responsibilities, privacy and confidentiality, and health and safety considerations. And because New Zealand employment agreements are required to state the employee's place of work, it's worth checking that the location clause still reflects the arrangement, especially where working from home is regular or long-term, and confirm any further change in writing. Often this can be covered in a simple variation letter. The second step is tools, systems and safety. Remote employees need reliable technology and secure systems. Organisations should ensure employees understand their responsibilities for protecting company information and maintaining confidentiality when working outside the office. Employers also continue to have responsibilities under the Health and Safety at Work Act. While you can't control everything in someone's home environment, you still need to take reasonably practicable steps to ensure remote work is safe. That might include guidance on workstation setup, checking employees have suitable equipment, and encouraging staff to raise any health and safety concerns. The third step is connection. One of the biggest risks with remote work isn't productivity, it's isolation. Without deliberate effort, communication can become purely transactional. Regular one-to-one meetings, team check-ins, and opportunities for informal interaction help maintain relationships and keep people connected to the wider organisation. Some employers also schedule a set number of in-office days or occasional in-person sessions, such as quarterly planning meetings or team workshops, to strengthen collaboration and reinforce shared goals. The fourth step is fair performance management. Performance expectations should be clear and measurable. That may involve agreed key performance indicators, regular progress discussions, and consistent feedback. It's also important to be aware of proximity bias, the tendency to assume employees who are physically present in the office are more productive or committed. Good managers focus on results and contribution rather than visibility. The fifth step is culture and well-being. Culture doesn't disappear when people work remotely, but it does require more intentional effort. Leaders should continue reinforcing organisational values, celebrating achievements, and keeping an eye on workload and well-being. Burnout can be harder to see when employees are working remotely, so it's important to ask questions and create space for open conversations. Privacy is another factor to consider. Employees working from home still need to ensure that work information remains confidential, particularly when they're handling sensitive documents, emails, or conversations. At the same time, employees are also entitled to a reasonable degree of privacy in their home environment. For example, if someone's workspace is located in a shared living area, employers should be mindful about expectations around video calls, monitoring, or visibility into the home environment. Here's a practical example. One multi-site organisation introduced weekly virtual stand-ups, a shared online goal board, monthly team catch-ups, and quarterly in-person planning sessions. Those simple initiatives helped clarify priorities, strengthen relationships, and improve communication across the team. Remote work isn't about recreating the office online. It's about creating systems that support clarity, accountability, and trust. So the key lessons from today's case file are these. Detail how, when, and why the arrangement might be reviewed or revised. Set clear expectations about communication and outcomes. Ensure remote work arrangements meet health and safety requirements. Stay connected through regular interaction. Evaluate performance based on results, not visibility. And remember that flexible working requests must be considered carefully under the Employment Relations Act. If you're reviewing remote or hybrid working arrangements in your organisation and want to ensure expectations, policies and procedures are working effectively, it may be helpful to reach out to me to talk through the options before making changes. The information in this podcast is provided as a general overview of key employment topics and does not replace tailored advice. Every situation is different and the appropriate steps can vary depending on the specific circumstances. If you're unsure about how to proceed in your workplace, I encourage you to seek advice and support. Feel free to get in touch with me directly. Another workplace mystery examined, the evidence reviewed, and the reality of remote work a little clearer. Mā te wā.